Hi there, it's James here. I just thought I'd do a quick video because I get quite a lot of inquiries about a Fusee clock and how to hang the pendulum. Now, I've opened this Fusee dial clock up by taking the back box off. You don't need to take the back box off. It is secured into position with four tapering pegs, wooden pegs, and then the back box comes off and it reveals this setup. But you don't have to do that because you access the pendulum. You go through the bottom because there's access panel here and your back box, and there's actual access panel here. So you go up through there with one hand, and then your left hand will come in and guide it onto its spot. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the suspension part, the top of the suspension sat on the top of this back cock here. You see the parallel bars, and then that slot, it's called the impulse pin, a groove or slot, that goes, can you see that impulse pin on the pendulum? So it cannot be on the side, the clock won't run, or the side. That has to be through the slot, like so. Okay, so it has to be through that slot. So we're going to just drop the pendulum suspension on top there, like so, and the impulse pin on the crutch goes through the slot on the pendulum. So that's what you're looking for in order to hang the pendulum correctly. So your pendulum should look like that. There's a suspension at the top, slot at the top, and then this bob which slides up and down, this rod, should be at the bottom with the rating nut. Now obviously, for those who don't know, the pendulum bob, the higher the pendulum bob, the faster the clock will go. The lower the bob, the slower it will go. Weight has nothing to do with it. The weight of the bob, all the weight of the bob does is create the pendulum arc, so the amplitude of the pendulum. It receives an impulse of power from the crutch, from the anchor through the crutch, and it gives it a little nudge of power. Because obviously the pendulum is working against one, gravity, but if it was only gravity, it would never stop in theory. So there's other elements that make the pendulum stop, which is air resistance and temperature. There's probably more, but they're the most common reasons. So without a nudge of power, the pendulum will come to a stop. But it has that nudge of power each time it goes. The escapement is released, gives it a tick of power. Okay, so that's a bit of a quick how-to guide on pendulums. But that's how you look. You've got to get the suspension hanging there, and that impulse pin through that impulse slot on the rod of the pendulum. Hope that makes sense, guys. Thank you for your questions. Keep them coming.